September 27, 1941. Baltimore, Maryland. Bethlehem Fairfield Shipyard. A crowd gathers for a ship launch. President Franklin D. Roosevelt is here. Newsreel cameras roll. A massive cargo ship sits on the slipway. The SS Patrick Henry, named after the American Revolutionary hero. At 12:20 p.m., the ship slides into the water, crashes into the Patapsco River. Spray rises 50 feet high. Roosevelt watches. This is the first Liberty ship, an ugly, simple, mass-produced cargo vessel. Roosevelt knows what it means. Britain is starving. German U-boats are sinking hundreds of Allied ships. Britain needs cargo vessels. Desperately. The Patrick Henry is just the beginning. Over the next 4 years, America will build 2,710 Liberty ships. More than one ship launched every day. The largest shipbuilding program in history. These ungainly cargo vessels will help win World War II. This is the story of how America built a fleet in 4 years. To understand Liberty ships, you need to understand the problem they solved. The Battle of the Atlantic is raging. German U-boats hunt Allied merchant ships, wolf packs, coordinating attacks, torpedo after torpedo. The ships carry food, fuel, ammunition, tanks, planes, everything Britain needs to survive and fight. The U-boats sink them, faster than Britain can replace them. 1940, 1,000 Allied ships sunk. 1941, 1,300 ships sunk. 1942, 1,664 ships sunk. Britain is losing the Battle of the Atlantic. Winston Churchill later writes, "The only thing that ever really frightened me during the war was the U-boat peril. If the U-boats win, Britain starves. Britain surrenders. Germany wins. The solution, build more ships, faster than the U-boats can sink them. But traditional shipbuilding is slow. A cargo ship takes a year to build, maybe longer. America needs to build ships in weeks, not years. Hundreds of ships, thousands of ships. How? The answer comes from an unusual source. Britain. Britain has been building emergency cargo ships since 1940, called ocean-class ships. 60 vessels ordered. The design is simple, no luxury, no speed, just cargo capacity. Based on an old British tramp steamer design from 1879, the Dorrington Court, proven, reliable. Outdated, but it works. Coal-fired engine, riveted hull, single-screw propeller, top speed, 11 knots, about 13 miles per hour. Slow, very slow, but it can carry 10,000 tons of cargo. And it's simple to build. Britain approaches the United States. Can you build these for us? The U.S. Maritime Commission agrees, but they want to modify the design, replace the coal engine with an oil-fired steam engine, use welding instead of riveting, standardize every component. The goal, mass production, like Henry Ford's assembly line. But for ships, the man who makes it happen, Henry J. Kaiser. Kaiser is not a shipbuilder. He's a construction magnate. Built dams, the Hoover Dam, the Grand Coulee Dam. Never built a ship in his life. But Kaiser understands mass production, efficiency, speed. He partners with Todd shipyards. They get contracts to build Liberty ships. Kaiser brings fresh thinking, ignore tradition, focus on efficiency. Traditional shipyards build ships one at a time, slowly, piece by piece. Skilled riveters working for months. Kaiser's approach, prefabrication, build sections of the ship in different locations. Engines in one factory, hull sections in another, deck sections in another. Transport them to the shipyard, weld them together, like assembling a giant jigsaw puzzle. It's revolutionary. Traditional shipbuilders scoff. Ships aren't cars, you can't mass produce them. Kaiser proves them wrong. The Liberty ship design is finalized. Official designation, EC2-S-C1. Emergency cargo, second design, steam engine, cargo capacity 1. Specifications, length 441 feet, about 1.5 football fields. Beam, 57 feet. Draft, 27 feet. Displacement, 14,245 tons, fully loaded. Cargo capacity, 10,800 deadweight tons. Engine, triple expansion steam engine, 2,500 horsepower speed, 11 knots, 13 miles per hour, range 20,000 miles, crew 44 men, merchant marine, plus 21 to 40 Navy gunners, armament 1 times 3-inch or 5-inch stern gun, 8 times 20 millimeter anti-aircraft guns. It's not beautiful, square, boxy, functional. President Roosevelt calls them dreadful-looking objects, but they work. Each ship can carry 2,840 jeeps, or 440 light tanks, or 230 million rounds of rifle ammunition, or enough supplies to sustain an army for months. The holds are enormous. 5 cargo holds, enough space for a locomotive, boxcars, or entire factories. 1941. The first shipyards start construction. 18 shipyards across America. East Coast, West Coast, Gulf Coast. The largest, Kaiser's Richmond Shipyard in California. 4 separate shipyards. At peak production, launching a ship every day. The workforce explodes. Before the war, 46,000 shipyard workers in America. By 1943, 700,000 shipyard workers. Who are they? Many have never built a ship before. Farmers, factory workers, office clerks, and women, thousands of women. Rosie the Riveter becomes the symbol. Actually, welders. Most Liberty ships are welded, not riveted. But Rosie the Welder doesn't have the same ring. The work is hard, dangerous, loud. Sparks flying, heavy steel plates, cranes lifting tons overhead. Accidents happen. People die. But the ships get built. The prefabrication system works like this. Different factories across the country build components. In Pittsburgh, engines. In Michigan, propeller shafts. In Ohio, deck equipment. In California, hull plates. Everything is standardized. Part number 4523 from one factory fits perfectly with part number 8891 from another. Components are shipped to the shipyards. By train. By truck. At the shipyard, workers assemble the sections. Double bottom sections, side shell sections, deck sections, bow section, stern section. Giant cranes lift the sections. Welders join them. The hull takes shape in weeks, not months. Then the superstructure, bridge, crew quarters, galley, then the machinery, engine installed, boilers, propeller shaft, then the deck equipment, winches, cargo booms, then the armament, guns, ammunition storage, the entire process, about 230 days initially. But Kaiser is obsessed with speed, time studies, efficiency improvements, better training, better tools. The build time drops. 230 days becomes 150 days, then 100 days, then 70 days, and then the record, November 1942. Richmond Shipyard number 2, Kaiser's flagship yard, a publicity stunt, a challenge. How fast can we build a Liberty ship? The ship, SS Robert E. Peary. November 8th, keel laid. November 12th, hull sections assembled. November 15th, ship launched. Total time from keel laying to launch, 4 days, 15 hours, 30 minutes, less than 5 days. The Robert E. Peary slides into the water, fully assembled. It still needs final fitting out. Engine tested, equipment installed. Total time to fully operational, 7 days, 8 hours, 1 week. From nothing to a fully functional 10,000-ton cargo ship in 1 week. The newsreels go wild. American industrial miracle. It's propaganda, yes, a publicity stunt. But it proves the point. America can outbuild anyone, outproduce anyone. The average Liberty ship build time, 42 days by 1943. The ships are launched faster than they can be named. Each ship needs a name. 2,710 ships need 2,710 names. The Maritime Commission creates naming conventions. Most Liberty ships are named after notable Americans, historical figures, inventors, educators, labor leaders, suffragettes, African Americans, Native Americans. The SS Harriet Tubman, the SS Booker T. Washington, the SS John Muir, the SS Susan B. Anthony. Some ships are named after Allied cities, SSC Stalingrad, SS Liverpool. Others after maritime academies or maritime terminology. Every launch is a ceremony, a sponsor, usually a woman, breaking a bottle of champagne on the bow. I christen thee the SS name. May God bless this ship and all who sail in her. The ship slides down the ways, into the water, ready for war. But Liberty ships have problems. The first problem, brittle fracture. Winter 1943, several Liberty ships break apart. Not from torpedoes, not from bombs. They just crack, split in half. In cold water, SS Schenectady breaks in half while docked. January 1943, SS John P. Gaines breaks apart in the Pacific. SSSO Manhattan cracks appear but survives. What's happening? The welds. Welding is faster than riveting. That's why Kaiser uses it. But welding creates continuous stress points. In riveted ships, a crack stops at a rivet. In welded ships, a crack can propagate the entire length of the ship. Cold water makes the steel brittle. Stress fractures appear. They spread. Engineers investigate. The problem? Steel quality and welding technique. The steel used early in the program is low quality. Emergency wartime production, shortcuts, and the welders. Many are poorly trained. Rush training, bad welds. The solution? Better steel, better welding, better training. In design modifications, crack arresters, reinforcement. By mid-1943, the brittle fracture problem is mostly solved, but not before several ships are lost. Some break apart, some survive with cracks but are repaired. The Liberty ship program continues. The second problem, U-boats. Liberty ships are slow, 11 knots, lumbering. U-boats can run circles around them. Convoys help. Dozens of ships sailing together. Destroyer escorts, corvettes, air cover. But U-boats still attack. Between 1941 and 1945, 200 Liberty ships are sunk by enemy action. U-boat torpedoes, most common. Aircraft bombs, some. Mines, a few. The worst losses, 1942 to 1943, the height of the U-boat campaign. But here's the key statistic. Liberty ships sunk, 200. Liberty ships built, 2,710. For every ship sunk, America built 13 more. The U-boats can't keep up. Admiral Karl Dönitz, commander of the German U-boat fleet, realizes the problem by late 1943. We are sinking ships, but they are building them faster than we can sink them. Germany loses the Battle of the Atlantic, not because the U-boat stops sinking ships, but because America builds ships faster. The Liberty ships sail everywhere. North Atlantic convoys to Britain and Russia, Mediterranean to supply North Africa and Italy, Pacific to support island hopping campaigns, India and China via the Burma Road supply route. They carry everything: tanks, planes in crates, locomotives, food, fuel, ammunition, medical supplies, troops. Without Liberty ships, D-Day is impossible. The invasion fleet requires hundreds of cargo ships. Liberty ships carry the tanks, trucks, supplies. Without Liberty ships, the Soviet Union struggles. American Lend-Lease supplies arrive via Liberty ships, via Murmansk and Arkhangelsk. Brutal Arctic convoys. Without Liberty ships, the Pacific War slows. Island invasions require massive logistics. Liberty ships deliver the goods. They're the unglamorous workhorses of the war. No one writes songs about Liberty ships. No movies feature them as heroes. But they win the war by delivering, every time, everywhere. The crews, merchant mariners, civilian sailors, not military, but in a war zone. The pay is good, better than military, but the danger is extreme. U-boats don't distinguish between warships and cargo ships. Merchant ships are targets. When a ship is torpedoed, explosions, fire, oil on water, men jumping overboard, lifeboats if you're lucky, freezing water if you're not. North Atlantic in winter, survival time in the water is minutes. Merchant Marine casualty rate, higher than any U.S. military service except Marine Corps. 1 in 26 merchant mariners died during the war. They're not given veteran status until decades later, but they sail, trip after trip, convoy after convoy, knowing every voyage could be the last. The Liberty ship SS Stephen Hopkins, September 27, 1942, South Atlantic. The Hopkins encounters two German raiders, the Steyr and the Tannenfels, disguised merchant ships, but heavily armed. The Germans order the Hopkins to surrender. The Hopkins has one 4-inch deck gun. The Steyr has 6 5.9-inch guns. The Hopkins fights. For 20 minutes, the cargo ship and the raiders exchange fire. The Hopkins is outgunned, taking hits, on fire, sinking, but the gun crew keeps firing. Cadet Midshipman Edwin O'Hara, the last man at the gun, everyone else dead or wounded. He fires the final shots, hits the Steyr. The Steyr catches fire, heavily damaged. The Hopkins sinks, taking most of the crew with her. But the Steyr is so badly damaged it sinks the next day. The only American merchant ship to sink a German surface raider in combat. 19 Hopkins crew survive, spend 31 days in lifeboats before rescue. O'Hara doesn't survive. He's posthumously awarded the Merchant Marine Distinguished Service Medal. The Hopkins goes down fighting. That's the spirit of the Liberty ship crews. By 1944, the tide has turned. The U-boat threat is diminishing. Allied air cover, better convoy tactics, escort carriers, radar, code breaking. Liberty ships cross the Atlantic with increasing safety. The shipyards are still producing. Peak production, 1943. 3 ships launched per day on average. By the end of 1943, 2,000 Liberty ships built. The final Liberty ship, SS Albert M. Boeing, launched September 30th, 1945. After the war ended, total produced 2,710 Liberty ships, built in 4 years, 18 shipyards, hundreds of thousands of workers, millions of tons of steel, the largest and fastest shipbuilding program in history. After the war, what happens to Liberty ships? Many are scrapped, surplus, no longer needed, but hundreds continue sailing, sold to commercial shipping companies all over the world. Greek shipping companies buy them, rename them, use them for decades. Some are converted, passenger ships, troop ships, grain carriers, a few become museum ships. SS Jeremiah O'Brien, San Francisco, still operational, sails occasionally. SS John W. Brown, Baltimore, also operational. You can visit them, walk the decks, see the cargo holds, the engine room, and imagine 70 of these being built per month, every month, for years. The legacy of Liberty ships. First, they proved mass production works for complex products. Before Liberty ships, ships were artisan products, each one unique, handcrafted, slow. After Liberty ships, shipbuilding changes. Standardization, prefabrication, efficiency, modern container ships, cruise ships, naval vessels, all use techniques pioneered by the Liberty ship program. Second, they demonstrated American industrial power. In 1940, skeptics doubted America could mobilize. Too slow, too decentralized, too individualistic. By 1943, America was outproducing Germany, Japan, and Italy combined. Liberty ships were the symbol, not just the ships themselves, but what they represented. American factories converting to war production, American workers building round the clock, American logistics delivering worldwide. Germany and Japan couldn't compete. Third, they won the war. Not dramatically, not heroically, but practically. By delivering food to Britain so it wouldn't starve, tanks to Russia so it could fight, supplies to the Pacific so islands could be taken. Without Liberty ships, the Allies lose, or the war drags on for years longer. There's a statue at the National World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. It shows a worker, a welder, building a ship. The plaque reads, "They built the arsenal of democracy." That's the Liberty ship workers, not soldiers, not sailors, not pilots, welders, riveters, crane operators, factory workers, working 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week, Building ships, they didn't storm beaches, they didn't fly bombing runs, they didn't fight in foxholes, but they won the war by building 2,710 ships in 4 years from nothing. That's the story of Liberty ships. Not glamorous, not heroic in the traditional sense, but essential, decisive, victory. Thank you for watching. Thank you